Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Outliers Gaming. We are back with Tag Weekly, week 23. So, obviously, you all know by now if you've watched this before, and if you haven't, well, welcome, guys. Welcome to the channel. Hopefully, you enjoy this. Please consider hitting that like button and subscribing if you do enjoy this and the other content on my channel. But we spin a wheel if there's no comment from the previous episode deciding the topic. No comment deciding a topic. This time, we spin the wheel. Now, the question is, and before I'm pausing because there's one big reason. Sometimes when I switch over to the wheel, it will show a black screen and then load. Sometimes it won't load at all. So let's see. Wheel. Wheel. Okay, took a little bit longer than I wanted, but it popped up. I don't know. My other scene transitions, if I transition to any other scene, it's fine. It's the wheel one that's always like, do I want to exist? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. All right, let's spin it. Now, I'm going to keep spinning as I say this really quick. We have done the live-action Japanese shows. If we get it again, that's going to be will be a part 2 in essence, and I will be doing a more detailed video with a full script and everything. The rest are going to be just kind of feeling it as goes. Let's see. Job hunting. Job hunting is the topic. So, when it comes down to it, guys, I have been... how do I say this? So, if you did not know, I was a home care aide for my grandmother for a long time. She passed away about a year and a half ago. Actually, I think a little bit shorter than that. Just over a year, right? And, no. Yeah, October. So, over a year. Anyways, my point. And I had other jobs and other stuff, but I was really working on content creation while working that because I knew I had a job as a home care aide. And with her passing, there was a lot of stuff to take care of. And, you know, not to go into too much detail, but now I've been looking for a job. The job market can go really hot or really cold depending on your experience. Unfortunately, I like tech. I work in tech. I have a lot of technical support, a lot of tech, experience, whether it's with Apple, Nintendo, a bunch of stuff. However, the tech industry is also notorious for knowing that if you are missing a couple years or you do another job that isn't tech, sometimes those hiring managers will look at it as empty space, even though you're working at a different job. I knew this because I actually had an interview, and this is not a joke. I said, oh yeah, I was a home care aide. I was also doing content creation. They're like, great, so you didn't do a job. And like, I'm sorry? You're literally belittling what I was doing for my loved one as a home care aide. It was insane to me that people had the gall and, to say that I wasn't doing anything. Like, I understand if you state something as, it is not tech support. Oh, I see you were outside the technical field. That would be a different statement. Not, oh, so you were doing nothing. That is a statement that got, and I reported him. I was done with that. That shit pissed me off. You can insult me. And yeah, it's a low blow. Never go after someone's family. Don't belittle someone like that. That's just fucking stupid, guys. But at this point, I've been out of a job for a little bit. I've been looking for them. I get a lot of interviews. I get a lot of, oh yeah, let's get you talking to someone. Let's do an assessment. Let's do this and that and that. It's always, oh, thanks. Oh, we went with another candidate. Oh yeah, this one other person is just ahead of you. There's some times where I actually go into an interview and they're like, oh yeah, this final interview, it's you and another guy debating who gets this one slot. I always lose. It's tough. It's emotionally draining. When you apply to dozens of jobs and you wake up in the morning and you find 4, 5, 6 no's right off the bat, the first thing you wake up to is saying, no, you're not good enough. And enough of that over a year's time will mentally drain and kill you. Now, in the time after my grandmother's passing and looking for a job, there was a lot of stuff around the house. Someone who's passing, who's kind of the core family member and someone who's so important, there was a lot of stuff to take care of. Not just the funeral stuff, but, there's a lot of bills and a lot of will stuff. And so I was kind of the main guy for that. And I was really helping out on that. So there was a lot of work I was doing away from the scenes of looking for a job. But the job hunt has gone poorly. And it's not just my confidence that's taken knock, it's me questioning certain abilities of stuff. Now, a few years ago, yeah, I was, I don't want to say I don't know technology anymore, but when it came down to it, as a tech support agent, I was always really great. Someone involving any job with tech, I did great. People were always the issue. And a lot of time, it wasn't me helping customers that was the issue. It's bosses. People saying, oh, yeah, do not do this. You're spending too much time on this one customer. I'm sorry, this is an elderly customer who needs more help. Why? So on my job hunt, I try not to lie. I try not to stretch the truth. I put exactly what's happened, exactly out there, exactly how it happened, like precisely so people know I'm telling the truth and precisely giving the info. Why did I leave a job? Well, I'm not going to say, oh, I left because I left. I'm not going to try to stretch the truth, say, oh, I found a better opportunity and it didn't work out. No, I left because the my manager at the time was an asshole. Hey, okay, I don't use asshole, but I lay out the information, and there's a lot of questioning with job hunting. It's no longer like when I graduated high school, was in college, and I looked for a part-time job where it was like, oh, here's a resume. Oh, yay, it's someone, so, oh, I got to apply. And some jobs, without warning you, put you immediately into an assessment, especially in tech. I understand if you want to send a link and do an assessment afterwards. I applied to a job a couple of days ago, so I'm not going to name names. Applied to a job. I was like, great, okay. And I knew it said, oh, you are going to need to do an assessment. Cool, send me that email. It was kind of late that night. I'll do it tomorrow morning or tomorrow noon-ish. And they immediately said, oh, no, now you're doing an assessment. Okay, so I can back out, save, and come back to it later. No, it actually had the goal to tell me I would be doing an hour-long assessment with no warning, with a pop-up saying if you back out, you forfeit your application. Really, people? That's where we're going with applications? You can't even give people the time of day or the kindness to do it at their own time. I understand it can be, sometimes some people are like, oh, I'll just do it right away. But sometimes other people are applying to jobs, just seeing what stuff is before you go to bed, and you don't have an extra hour, or you're already up so late editing videos, in my case, or recording something, or taking care of a baby, taking care of a family member, a million things, and they immediately force you to, and if you back out, you forfeit the app. That is stupid. Ridiculous. So the job hunt itself, now that I've ranted a little bit, is going rough. Like I said, waking up every morning to no's is tough. I constantly scrutinize on my resume. There's multiple times I've gone out to resume reviewers using things to check my resume. Everyone says it's great. I've done, through different services, practicing interviews. I've had, things assessed. Everyone's like, oh, your resume looks great. Your punctuation, your ability to interact seems pretty good. I don't get any negative marks for the most part. I mean, occasionally I'll fumble a word or whatnot, but, we're humans. We will make mistakes, small ones. But it's always like, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not good enough? And that is in itself an issue. Everything is so, how do I say this? Informal these days with job applications. I get things saying, oh yeah, we just moved on. Oh, the job has been closed. Okay, if I didn't get the job, could I at least get a little bit of feedback? One job recently that I can think of sent me a thing saying, oh, thank you for your application. After reviewing it, we have decided other candidates had bachelor degrees or other degrees that are higher than yours. Okay, there's an actual thing. I don't have this type of degree. These other people do. They may be slightly overqualified, but hey, we want to get that overqualification and maybe eventually move them to another position. There's an answer. You gave me something I can improve on. Okay, I know one part, but all the rest of the jobs, it's like, okay, I don't know what I did wrong. Did I not answer questions well enough? Did I just not go quick enough? Sometimes I do overthink questionnaires. Like it says, oh, are you more along this or more this? It's like, you have to choose which one you're more like or less like in some kind of, and sometimes it's like, I think too much of it. It's like, there one question that always like stumps me in essence is like, oh yeah, if this person needed help, would you either focus on your work and get work done, or would you sacrifice your work and help the person? Well, depending on if I'm new, if I'm just a regular employee, they could go to the manager. They could go to their team leader. They could go to someone who's actually more suited to help them if I'm brand new. So a lot of the time I put middle, but I'm also knowing that if it's a quick question, as long as I'm not on a call, I'm not helping trying to solve an issue, or I'm not relaying with some sort of communication, it's as easy as saying, oh no, that's wrong. Check this page or this part of the booklet or the website or whatever you use to learn the job. It's as easy as that. If it's a quick message in a group chat that a lot of tech companies have nowadays, someone else could have seen it and responded quicker if they weren't busy. So yeah, I would help them, but it also makes it sound like, oh, if you're helping them, you're not doing your job. And it's like, okay, so I'll go in the middle and say, well, kind of both. I could work, see a question, type in something really quick. Guess what? I have 2 keyboards in front of me. I have 2 screens. While I'm recording this, I literally have my editing/recording PC over here. I have my gaming PC right here working on something. Not working on it like directly. It's updating stuff. I have stuff updating. I have stuff downloading. I'm allowing that to go while I'm working on this. As soon as this is done, I am going to edit. When the editing is going, I'm going to play some Madden Ultimate Team. I already have level 50, but I have one more game, and with Season 7 launching, this is kind of a side tangent. I just said tangent. I mixed, holy crap. No, I have a side tangent where Madden's next season is coming out, and I have one game left to play, I believe, and then I can reset them for 4 more. And at the start of the season, because the competitive season doesn't wipe out till 2 days after Season 7 launches, I want to make sure I have 8 games in solo battles that I can shoot through to complete any of those, the first weekly challenges, complete anything that is there, because I know Fan Appreciation is coming out the same day, and I'll have 8 games to go after objectives and just, whether it's points, yardage, whatever, I can get that done in those 8 games without worry. So that's kind of what I'm setting up for. Tangent over. Back to the job hunt. Job hunting's difficult too. There's so many scam jobs out there. I've stopped using a lot of sites because of the number of scams to real job ratios. There are always going to be at least 1 or 2 scammy-ish jobs depending on the website, but Flex Jobs is one I use and love. Things like Indeed, I still kind of use. I've stopped using any of the others like Monsters, stuff like that, because not good. Just not good. I like Glassdoor. I like a few other things, but looking for a job is also tough because a lot of the time, they also will just straight up not give you the correct info. Here's the truth. If you did not know, I live in Washington, just slightly north of Seattle. Now, if I get a job and I apply to one in my area, I do not want to move elsewhere, especially if I put no relocation. I actually got a job where I had an interview and they were like, oh yeah, this is great. You're doing great. We'd like to offer you the job. I was like, oh, I've got a job. Finally, like, yes, and when can you move to Arizona? I'm sorry, you didn't mention that anywhere to the last second. I went up to the job post. Doesn't say it. They didn't mention it once until after they've given me the offer. And I was about ready to say, yeah, I'll do it. And then they say, oh yeah, you'll have to move to work. I said, no, I can't work from Washington. They're like, oh no, we're not hiring there. But if you move, why interview me then? Why put U.S. national for a job if it's, obviously remote, or like list Washington on there if you can't hire there? That's so scummy, and I hate it. I hate that there isn't a set of rules for job applying to make things equal and fair and unified across the job board. Now, obviously, different jobs will need different requirements to test, but that should be something that should be unified and aligned to make it more easier for I guess people look for jobs. I was going to say consumer, but that's not the right word. I guess. I mean, we're looking for a job, we're consuming the process, so maybe. Either way, that point aside, it's the same with things like television ads, one being louder or quieter. I'll tell you what, if I'm listening to an ad and it's louder than the regular program I'm watching, I actually don't buy or order that brand anymore. Even if I like them, I don't. That's literally something. Ads actually ruin the experience. A lot of time, I very rarely see ads that make me want to buy something, but I've had a lot of ads where I'm like, oh, I'll never buy that company. And my family stopped supporting them. It's just that simple. It's doing the opposite. But then again, I grew up with cool random 90s commercials and early 2000s commercials where junk was wacky. Remember those wild Nintendo commercials? Different times, man. Things were wild back then. Love them. I'm not gonna lie, I sometimes watch those commercials. But, hunting for a job is tough. And if you're hunting for a job out there, let me know your experience down below. Just without much detail, just, let me know how it's going. Because I know at the end of the day, it's rough out there. I know. I wake up every day to no's. Every day I apply to jobs. Well, usually not Sundays because usually a lot of jobs don't get posted on Saturday and Sundays. So those, it's like a couple. And then most of the time it's Monday through Friday. You learn stuff like that depending on websites and stuff that you apply to. But honestly, at the end of the day, if you're hunting for a job, I wish you the best of luck. I hope you find one. I do. While I'm looking for one and I hope I find one, I know that there's a lot of other people out there in worse situations than I am that need a job more desperately than me. But I wish you guys the best of luck in applying to jobs. I wish myself a bunch of luck in hunting for a job because I could use it. So the last thing we're going to talk about is, well, something we talk about all the time. And that is, well, the former tag vlog goals. Now, when it comes down to it, guys, some of these are kind of redundant here. Lose weight. I am losing weight. Obviously, I have to lose weight to cosplay, health reasons, press ladies, stuff like that. Find a job. We literally just had this whole discussion, guys. Get a video sponsor is the next one. That would be a milestone, I'll tell you what. It would be a massive milestone to get any type of video sponsor because that means our channel's reaching to a certain level. And yeah, honestly, I have some more things I'm going to be doing with Tag Weekly coming up, guys, other than just the topic. But these former Tag Vlog goals are something that will be blended into them. So, Smog UKA Recorder Yu-Gi-Oh! Digimon event. I am going to once I have a job because then I could buy a camera and actually go record things. Because my phone, it always seems like storage is an issue, and I could work that out, but I'd want something a little higher. Urza, collab with someone who has 5K plus subs, video on each channel. This is going to be another milestone one, like a sponsorship. This means I have grown to a point where somebody wants to reach out to me and our community here in order to create a video together. That would be magical. And a video on each channel, obviously. Urza's also get to 500 subs. We're at 365. I saw us jump up to 366, and someone then unsubscribed, so that's unfortunate. I'm not going to lie, seeing this number stay stagnant does hurt. It is tough, but you know what? At the end of the day, our highest was 367. I know we'll get there and we'll surpass it. I just have to keep it up. I got to keep doing what I'm doing and improving and working on stuff at the end of the day because things will come back to us. But I want to thank everyone for watching. And honestly, guys, if you are watching this, let me know by giving a like and commenting down below something, even if it's not a topic. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time. Tag out. I want to give a special thank you to all my Patreon members. Urza and Scott, you're amazing. If you guys want to check out Patreon and join it to get a shout out at the end, check Patreon down in the link to the description below. And you can also, like Scott did, make me re-record this.